On Retro Rock Live. Ben and Mark with you on this Sunday night. Good to have you all along. He has joined us from... He's joined us from South Carolina.
Yes.
Mississippi, Louisiana. I'm sorry, if you knew the Marx Brothers movies, you know what the hell I'm talking
that's
about.
That's right, yeah.
His name is Izzy
Swan. Izzy. Is he there?
He is there, and I can actually see him.
Here.
Look at that.
Oh, good God, Izzy.
Izzy Swan, welcome to Retro Rock Live, all the way from the good old US of A.
Thank you, Ben. Mark, thank you for having me.
Hey,
you're most welcome, mate. Mate, we've got to have such celebrities like yourself on here. You know, people with those magic play buttons. Hang on a sec, I've got to get a look at him. Hey, I can see you, dude. How are you, man? Oh, mate, love the bed.
Thank you,
mate. Did you make that yourself?
No. This is the spare room / office. So.
Oh, right. I was just wondering who's underneath the bump.
Yeah, it looks like the old 3-pillow trick there in the bed.
That's the clean laundry that I haven't folded yet.
See, it's not just a guy thing here.
No,
all right, we put the t-shirts and everything else under the bed. You sleep on the bed, and that automatically irons it.
Absolutely.
Are we right?
No, my wife does the laundry, but refuses to fold it. So,
know the feeling.
It usually ends up in a pile on the bed, and I pick from that.
Mate, do you know what I usually do there, mate? Is I usually hang it up, on the line and put it on a coat hanger whilst it's hanging out on the line, as we call it, the Hills Hoist, and I just let it dry, and it irons itself.
That's a good idea.
It works for me.
Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, mums and dads, nans and pops, if you'd like to have a bit of a look-see at the YouTube, Mr. Gold Button himself, Mr. Izzy Swan, he's on YouTube under Izzy Swan, and thinkwoodworks.net. Is that correct there, Izzy?
Yep, thinkwoodworks.net. That's correct, yes.
Now, you are, something sort of a famous person that, you're actually one of two people that I call as an inspiration for me for my bit of a hobby that I do, which is DIY building stuff, and I thank you for that, Izzy. The other one is
Larry Flint.
Larry Flint. No, not Larry Flint.
What do you use Larry for?
I'm not going to tell you now.
Relaxation.
Relaxation, yeah. Hang on.
Sorry,
it's just...
No, I'm not.
Anyway.
We could do this as late night here.
It's late, it is, isn't it? And the other fella is Shane from D.I.Y for Knuckleheads. Have you heard of him?
I have, yes. In fact, just recently, about 6 weeks ago, I came across his stuff and have been watching a little bit of it. I like him a lot.
He's not too bad. Great tip, knackers. Yeah, Shane's a good bloke. We've been communicating for a little while, so I'm going to try and get him up online as well one day, and on the show. But you're what I would call, and I was explaining it to Mark the other day. I will call you the jig man.
Yeah, I kind of gotten that reputation. I normally, it's funny because prior to YouTube, I built almost all furniture. But it seems like the shop fixtures, the jigs, the crazy little contraptions get a lot more attention online than the actual furniture builds do. So, far be it for me to judge. I just kind of do what people want to see, and so and I enjoy it. I absolutely love building, machines and just rethinking a lot of the processes that we have in woodworking and different ways to accomplish certain tasks is really where I get a big kick out of that. So
no, I notice that when you're doing your little builds and so forth, I just love your quirkiness, the way you come across things, and that's another reason why I thought you'd get along well with us. We're a couple of bullheads.
Oh, that's nice.
You're not the first person to say so. I've gotten that quite a bit over the years, that I would fit in well over there. So,
well, if you're a laid back sort of guy that likes working with his hands and everything else, sort of thing, you'd fit in here perfectly. And just by your camera shot, you look like the sort of guy that could have a drink or 25 and it wouldn't faze you in the slightest.
Yeah, well, that's I grew up in that type of atmosphere. We call it rednecks here. We call them backwood people from up North Michigan is where I'm originally from. So
we call those Queenslanders.
Queenslanders, okay.
I'm originally from Queensland, you see, and they call the Queensland like the South down there, the rednecks, the backwoods, and all that kind of stuff. So
even though Queensland's sort of in the northern part of Australia, so.
Right.
That's just strange. Ben and I were chatting earlier. We're assuming you're actually a qualified chippy by trade.
Do you know what a chippy is, don't you? That's kind of like it. Yeah, it's all good.
I'm assuming it's a type of a woodworker.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
Well, there you go. He doesn't know. It's an Aussie thing. It's basically yes. If you're a qualified carpenter.
Oh, okay.
So we call them chippies.
Carpenter, cabinet maker, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yep, I've been doing this since I was about 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So only a couple of years then.
Yeah, I'm fifth generation craftsman. We call them craftsmen or woodworkers over here. I'm fifth generation. So, I mean, I come from a long line of tradesmen, people who work in the trades industries.
Yep.
Framers, drywallers, roofers, builders, cabinet makers, furniture makers.
Okay.
We got them all in my family. So.
Oh, we call drywalling. We just call it gyp rocker.
Gyp rocker, yeah. We just call them straight up sheet rockers here.
Sheet rocker. Well, that works in for us, rocker.
What do you call your electricians over there?
Sparkies.
Same here. Yeah, we got one in common.
Yeah, at least one. We've got locksmiths or lockies. And what do we got? We got chippy, we got lockies,
and then we got people like me who are shit kickers.
That's just us. We're shit kickers. That's right.
I think that's what they call me over here as well.
Lovely. No, mate, I don't think it's. I think you're a bit higher than a shit kicker.
Well,
but then again, you know what I mean. Let's not go there with you.
You used to work with Google, so
I did. Well, that's right. I worked for Google once, so there you go. Izzy, what got you into doing this? Really, seriously, you know what I mean? Like getting yourself out and about, out on the screen.
That was the weird part. I owned a rustic furniture company, Heritage Rustics, for 20 years. Designed high-end, mid-range to high-end rustic furniture. And built for several galleries, some larger galleries here in the U.S.
Wow.
And in 2008, you guys probably know, in 2008, we had a huge market crunch here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And people just quit buying. I mean, they quit buying furniture, they quit buying everything, and it shut down. So, I had 13 employees at the time, well, prior to that, and I kind of made it as small as I could. I kept the 3 best guys I had and just hung on for about 9 months, just trying to, wait it out to see what would happen. And, my ex-wife moved to South Carolina, and I realized, what am I doing? I need to be next to my kids. I'm struggling just to make this work. So I ended up selling the business and selling some of my designs. And I came down to South Carolina. And, I pretty much, as long as I live humble, I don't have to do much. And I just got bored. You can only do so much fishing. So, I spent about 2 years of my life sitting right next to the intercoastal waterways fishing for trout, and I just got tired of it. I needed to do something, so I've always had the tools, set up and just working. And it just occurred to me that I watched YouTube videos. I said, I got some stuff that nobody's seen before. I wonder if I should, share it. So I started uploading videos from my phone, from my little cell phone. I did that for about the first 6 months, just recorded right straight on the phone and right from the phone uploaded it. And then I got high tech where I download the video onto my computer, do a little editing, and then shoot it up. But people seem to be interested in what I was doing. And you guys know if somebody's interested in what you're doing and you're sharing, it kind of motivates you to get out there a little more and share a little more and do a little more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And quite literally, not figuratively, have a box. Just a box full of notepads and sketches and ideas for, just everything. Jigs, or machines, walking contraptions, little robots. Just stuff I've scratched down on paper over the years. And I said, I'm going to get that box out and start, going through some of these ideas. And of course, there's always new ones that come up. So Just one thing led to another, and now I'm actually, this has turned into something, I wouldn't call it a business, but it's turned into something of a professional hobby for me. And
Yeah.
I don't care for the computer side of things. I never have, but it's kind of a means to an end to get it out there, and learning a little bit better, learning a little more techniques as I go along, getting a little bit better at the video side of stuff. But that's really where it happened. It all just it was more of I would call it more of a lever of controlling my insanity, because I was going out of my mind, not doing anything. And this gave me a focus, and having people interested, which was really quite unexpected. I didn't expect to have the kind of growth that I did. And I think it's gotten, with the content and the quirky personality, as you guys call her, I think that just worked. And that's kind of taken to me to where I am now. And, the channel keeps growing, the website keeps growing, and everything just keeps moving in the right direction. So it's very lucky. It's been a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it, man. I absolutely love sharing the concepts and ideas, and maybe if I can inspire people to kind of think their way around problems and come up with solutions that maybe somebody else hasn't thought of before, then I'm doing exactly what I set out to do.
So in other words, you almost consider yourself as a modern day Leonardo da Vinci. I consider myself a dumb redneck. Really?
Well,
but if you've got all these designs,
I get comments about that all the time. People say, "Oh, Izzy, you're a genius," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. I am a dude hanging out in a garage messing around. That's what I am." So,
look, it all depends. What inspiration always comes from,
it comes from the weirdest places.
It does. It does.
Even
if you sit down, have a fart, and you go, "Oh, I know how to fix that."
I know how to make that. I know how to make that fart better.
Yeah, that's right. You just put a lighter to it.
That's a coffee. That's a coffee you're drinking, by the way, isn't it? It's not.
It's too early in the morning, Izzy.
No, it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday, but
I drink coffee from sun up to sundown. I have a coffee just before bed usually. So.
It depends on what's in the coffee is.
Or, nothing before 5. So.
Nothing before 5.
It's after 5 somewhere in the world. I mean, it's it's almost 11:30 here at night. So go for it.
Go for your life. Get pissed. It's fine.
Well, Mrs. Izzy Swan keeps me on track. So
fair enough.
She's got a lock on the liquor cabinet, and it comes off at 5.
That's fair enough.
Mrs. Swan or the locker for the cabinet?
Both.
Good on you. But good on. You got him. You got him. I love it. It's awesome. But a lot of inspirations actually came from you. For me, was no one ever heard. And honestly, I go into a place. We've got one of the biggest hardware stores here in Australia. Is called Bunnings. Okay, so it's more like your Home Depot. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a big ass place, and I walk in there and I remember you saying pocket hole jig, and I'm going, oh, what's that thing? Oh, geez, I like that thing. I'll have a go. I'll have a look for that. So I wandered into Bunnings and I said, mate, they got doweling jigs and all that kind of stuff. Go, mate, you got a pocket hole jig? What? Pocket hole jig. They go, a what?
See, now, here we go.
You're shitting me? You don't know?
Here's your Australian market opening up.
Yeah.
Here's your Australian market opening up right now.
So I ended up making my own, excuse you, Gesundheit. I don't know what that was. I ended up making my own pocket hole jig, because watching you making a small jig, at a 30-degree angle and so forth to get those holes made. I thought, that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It pulls the wood together. It's awesome. I don't have to use biscuits too often, and it's great. So I went to try and buy a Crag, and God, they're expensive. A Crag jig. So I went out and I bought I think it's a DARPA. I think it was, or Draper or something like DARPA. I think it was from the States, and it works okay,
but
it doesn't have the height adjustment. It's only got one height.
Yeah.
So, things like that. And just little things like that help people like me who are, absolute amateurs. I'm not a chippy. I'm for crying out loud, I was crap at woodwork in school. You know what I mean? But my girlfriend encouraged me to go out and build things, you know. So I did. I went out and built things, and I went out and I made a mockery of it. And, you know, my dad said, son, stop thinking about making it look pretty. You're making it look like it's made in a bush, like we call a bush shed, you know, in the back shed. I go, yeah. And he says, then it's not supposed to look spot on, son.
Right.
You got a bloody good point there, Dad.
Well, it's true.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so I ended up making, like a lot of people go, you know, I've said, like you've seen some of my stuff. And a lot of people actually said, oh, those joints are not good. And I said, well, do you know how hard it is to make it look like that? Seriously? Because you know what I'm trying to say, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, you cut the line, and then if you're off that line, you go, you bastard. You throw it away, and you do it again. Bastard.
And you keep
do
going.
it again. Do it again. And then you get to the point where you improvise, and your brain has to start switching off. And you go, well, the line's crooked. Who cares? Kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it is very difficult to make it look like that, because you end up building to look that way, not to have it look spot on. And Izzy understands what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we you know, I don't know what you call it. Here we call rustic. We would call that a rustic
Same thing.
look or a rustic build.
They say rustic here.
Personally, I much prefer that style, what you're doing, Ben. I've seen your furniture. I love it.
Thank you.
I personally much prefer that over, I would call it the fine woodworking kind of furniture.
Absolutely.
It removes all the knots, takes away all the imperfections, you know, and that has its place, and it's beautiful in and of itself. But I love the natural side of wood. I love the knots. I love the imperfections. I like using wood in the round and that sort, and seeing it in its natural state. And I like to surround myself with that kind of stuff, rather than, you know, removing all that natural beauty to just, you know, to the grain or, you know, to that sort of thing. And so when you're talking about those little imperfections, you know, a lot of times I'm buying really high quality material that's S4S milled on all four sides and trying to make it look like it's been sitting outside for 20 years and all beat up. So.
I'm actually doing the same thing. In Australia here, we've not, you know how you've got those arbor tools, you know what I mean, the arbor tech.
Sure.
We don't have, it's very hard to get them here in Australia because they're pretty dangerous. Right?
They're dangerous in the wrong hands, like with people like you.
Like me, yes, that's right, dangerous in my hands. But there's, on your grinder, you get a sanding disc on your grinder, okay? And that's, you know, the grinder's spinning at, 22,000 RPM, and as soon as you hit it onto a piece of wood, it rips into your wood, okay? How I've noticed, what I did was when I was sanding back, what was it, my Cape Cod chair, I was getting a look on it when I was sanding it back. It was actually giving divots into the timber. And I'm going, you know, that really looks like someone's used a long knife on it. Do you know what I mean? Which is a carving knife, Mark. Yeah, and, you know, you're carving... Yes, you are. And you're carving it out, and you're making those divots in it, and then you sand it back with a, you know, just a hand sander.
Yep.
And that's what this is making it look like. So I understand exactly what you're saying is, you know what I mean? I'm really getting stuck into it, making it look like it's old, and yet it's a perfectly good piece of bloody timber when I first started.
Well, it was.
It was until I got to it with me grinder. I go, I'll get into this bastard. That kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. You'd probably like our place, Izzy, where when my wife and I built, we had hardwood floors put down. And they're not polyurethane covered, they're just, you know, what we use Gemini wax on them. So it just fully brings out the natural. Some of the floors have got little knot holes through it, a couple of them have got divots in it and everything else, but just the total floor covering from start to finish of the whole house. The only place that doesn't have timber floor is actually your wet areas. So the whole place is all lovely woodwork. And the great thing about it was when the kids were young, and they were on hands and knees sort of thing, it got them prepared for life because they got calluses on their hands and knees like you wouldn't believe. It's great.
It's good, isn't it?
It.
But those imperfections are the best thing in the world, you know what I mean? And
it's natural.
It is natural. Like, I had a person wanted me to make 4 tables for their coffee shop. And she goes, can you paint it? I went, what? Paint it. You sure? I'm not going to paint it.
No,
You want to paint it? You paint it yourself. Kind of thing, you know what I mean?
I'll supply it natural.
I'll supply it natural. Hang on, no, I'm not getting it. No, you're not getting naked.
No, I was talking about the
that's
timber.
Right. That's all right then. That's all right then. You really don't want him getting naked, Izzy, because it'll scare the crap out of you.
Lovely.
Yeah, well,
It's all right. I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror and go, "Ah!" Oh, it's only me.
that's what happens as we get older. You know, we don't look good naked anymore. So,
Well, especially to our own eyes. Imagine what it's like when our wives see us. Oh, my God!
yeah, there's no reason the lights go way down low anymore. So,
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what's your plan, so to speak? And by the way, I love Rex. He's fantastic.
Thank
You've
you.
got to see Rex. He's
Okay.
really cool.
Okay,
He's built this little mechanical T-Rex.
lovely.
Yep.
And it's
My
all,
boys will love that.
oh, they'll love it. And it's driven by one DIY. Is it a DIY or a Bosch?
Bosch now. I've got an 18 volt. The idea, the concept was to build this 10 foot tall, 15 foot long mechanical Tyrannosaurus Rex that my kids could ride. We went and saw a Jurassic Park movie. I guess it was 7-8 weeks ago.
Yes, the new one.
My son comes out and he goes, "You know what'd be really cool, Dad?" I said, "What, Dad?" He goes, "If you could ride one of those dinosaurs." And I was like, "Yeah, that would be cool."
And suddenly the inspiration is in.
Right, exactly. And I've been looking for an excuse to use Theo Jensen's walking leg kind of style thing that he put on his Strand Beasts. He built these crazy, like 30 feet long beach creatures that walk along the beaches in Sweden, or it's one of
it is.
those.
No, it's. I think it is Sweden. I know the ones you're talking about too. They walk.
Yeah, these things are crazy. They're 30 feet long. They're pushed by the wind.
Yep.
So he built this really complex style of leg or walking mechanism that creates forward momentum. And I loved it. I was like, and then watching all those legs work in unison, it was like watching art. So I was like, someday I'm gonna figure out a pattern for those, the measurements, the dimensions, to make it all work. And I'm gonna build something. I don't know what, but I'm going to build something. And when my son had mentioned the dinosaur, it just kind of like, you have those moments, angels, the clouds parted, angels came out of the sky, everything.
The light bulb came
it all
on.
clicked. It all just came together. And I was like, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that style leg. I'm going to build my own. I just got a metal lathe, so I wanted to experiment with building my own gearbox. And I wanted to power this whole thing with the drill because my channel, I do a lot of some of it's serious, some of it's just playful, things with a drill, and I use it for a motor. And if I can make this whole thing work off of an 18-volt motor, that is a serious engineering challenge that I thought would be just totally cool.
And you did it.
Yeah, it worked out. That was in the 2 years or so I've been on YouTube. That was probably one of the most difficult builds I've done. I had a lot of issues with the gearbox. I ended up with an 11-to-1 reduction to make it work, and then because there's so much stress being put on the control arms, or the arms that actually move the legs,
actuation arms. Yeah,
I had them breaking a couple of times, so I finally broke out the welder and just welded it. It's like one big glob of metal now. I can't break it. So yeah, that was a great build, and I had it out. It was funny. I had it out about 5 nights in a row, just kind of tweaking it and testing it and fixing all the little, the little nuances that needed my attention. And I swear I had 200 people in those 5 days stop by. I had groups of kids from the neighborhood coming up. Can you ride it right now? Is it working? I mean, it was crazy.
You could have been
that turned out to
charging.
be one of the best, most fun builds I've done in a long time.
You could have been charging the kids a couple of bucks a ride.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a money spin-off for
Made
you.
you money, yeah.
No.
Hey, young fella, you want to ride, do you? Yeah, $2. Yeah, $2.
$2 a ride, not a problem.
But that's too dear. $4 now.
Yeah, no.
Oh, come on, Dad, you're not going to charge me.
Hang on. No. But then his mother walks up. Yeah, it's for free. Yeah, you can have it for free. G'day, love. How are you? Yeah, g'day. Here's my number. See my YouTube channel. Don't worry about the wife.
Excuse me, miss. Would you like to ride my dinosaur?
Geez, you could really use that as a pickup line, couldn't you?
Couldn't you? I think you've done well.
So yeah, that ended up being that build was a lot of work, and it ended up costing me a couple of weeks of videos, but
It did.
it was worth it. I had so much fun with it, and it really, it just turned out to be a whole lot of fun all over from right to left. And then Ben, I don't know if you know this, Mark. I put 2 videos out. I first did one of the bass, just the Segway style walking type of machine.
Yep.
And that one went kind of like mini viral. It got almost 1 million views in the first week. I couldn't believe it.
Sweet.
It ended up on Fox News of all things.
Mate, you're going to have to tell us how to do this, because we want to get into podcasting. We want to scare the crap out of people by showing them our faces.
well, we do have our, like yourself, we do have our own YouTube channel, which is Retro Rock Live.
Yeah.
And so far we do have some air checks that we've put together, sort of thing, and most of them have just got us in the audio and sort of pictures of us running through it. But there is one live air check which I did. I think about a month, 6 weeks ago. Which actually had the camera outside the studio, sort of, because I wanted to get the audio right and all the rest of blah blah blah.
So we're going to do something very, very soon, something like that. So have a look on
live TV for us. That's going to be
Retro Rock Live.
That's going to be scary enough.
It
as
is.
It is.
It is. That's right. Live. Good God. Well, it's semi-live. So I don't know about us being alive.
Well, we'll give it a try.
We're old farts.
We'll give it a try.
We're getting. There's one thing, Izzy.
Yes,
There's
sir.
one thing I'll tell you, mate. Just I'll tell you for free.
Okay.
I'll tell you that for
You
nothing.
ready? Yeah, tell you for nothing, mate. You ready? Never get old. It'll kill you.
Ben's been waiting and waiting.
I don't mind the getting old part. I know a lot of stuff that I didn't know when I was younger. I don't get in as much trouble as when I was younger.
Well, there's something wrong with you then.
I live a lot more comfortably than when I was younger, so I'm okay with being older.
I think I get a lot more shit than I do now. I was younger, actually. Especially doing what we do.
Well, that's right.
Well, we do this for a hobby. Mark and I have been on the air for, probably 20-odd years.
Too long.
We were in commercial radio together for a little while. Then we came back and when it went, and I asked Mark to come onto the show with me. And we've created the show,
8 years ago.
8 years now we've been doing the show together. So
2 years' time, we'll take long service leave from each other.
Yeah. I'm not paying him a cent.
Wait till you get the bill.
Oh, what's a whole 50 cents?
Hey, that's about a 200% increase in what I was going to charge.
No, that's right. So tell me, before we wrap this up, Izzy, what's on the horizon for you, my friend? And how did it feel, before I do go further, how did it feel to get that play button?
It was nice.
He looks all embarrassed now.
No, I don't know how to feel about stuff like that, because I don't think of myself as anybody special, and I'm really just a dude hanging out in the garage sharing some ideas, and that's really what I want my channel to be. Now, it's turned into something that's kind of helped generate a little income for my family, which means my wife will get to come home and be with our younger kids now, and that means a lot to me. So that was a huge thing when I realized that, I could not only have the income that I had before YouTube, but now I've created this other, and it's not huge, but it's comfortable enough that my wife can now come home and be at the house with our 5 kids. So
five kids.
I have 7 altogether, and 2 are just out of the nest now. So now I've got 5 at home.
7.
Well,
4 at home. One's due on next Monday. Next Monday we're delivering the last one. So
next Monday you're delivering.
Due to drop.
Yeah.
You due to have another.
Yeah, we're done. That's it. No more.
You sure?
But anyway, yeah.
Sure?
So,
you do know what those things are in the chemist, don't you?
Yeah, I heard. Somebody told me.
You heard?
Aspirin.
Aspirins, that's right. Sorry, honey, you got a headache. Here we go. I'm not going to give you these. I'm hiding them. Because I want you to have a headache, woman.
Well, Well, mate, I hope everything goes really well for you.
Yeah, so do we. Yeah.
Yeah, it will. We got some really fun stuff planned. We got with my wife coming home, I'll be able to do a real normal schedule. We're going to do budget builds twice a month, where it's limited tools.
Yes, I love those
materials
ones.
kind of builds. We're going to do a lot of more jig builds and crazy folding furniture and that kind of stuff. And then I'm actually, the reason I was tardy this morning was I was in a meeting with a place called Reforge Nation, and they're setting up a nonprofit to help set up maker spaces throughout different cities in the U.S. And I'm working with them, so you'll start actually seeing some promotional videos of them and what they're doing. So I'm really I'm super proud to be launching that, here on stateside, to be part of that and to be kind of the face for that. So I'm excited about where that goes. Just really seeing a lot of places opened up to a lot of different people where they can come and use building tools, welding tools, electronics, and just come and learn. So we're excited about that too.
I love that idea. I really do. What do you like during the day itself? What do you do for a quid there? You know what I mean? Are you still building furniture during the day, as in a normal business, so to speak?
No, I made enough when I sold my business, and then I collect royalties off of furniture designs, and I still design a few pieces of furniture for companies from time to time. That as long as I keep a humble life and not get too lavish, I pretty much don't have to work.
So basically, that's we can hit you up for a loan. So $50, all right?
Excuse me, I was coughing. I couldn't hear you.
That's all right, mate. Oh, yeah, of course you. Yeah. You sure you're not a bloody Australian?
Oh, now nice.
Hey, listen to him. Hey. I was coughing. No. Didn't hear you. What was that?
No,
sorry, Izzy.
That's a bank manager trick.
Yeah, I know. You used to work in a bank too.
Yes.
Hang on. The connection's gone dead, Izzy. We can't hear you. Sorry.
Bet they're done that.
Hang on.
Typically,
is this mic on?
You're calling from college. What? You said you need what? I'm sorry, my bad service.
You get the old piece of cellophane at the end of the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, look, radiation leak.
I've actually done that. I've said what? Thank you. Later.
Yes.
And it worked.
That's awesome. You do it really well too.
That is it. Angu. Later. No worries.
See what I got to put up with. So what's on the horizon? Yeah, what's on the horizon?
I'm going to be out in the shop later today practicing that now, Ben.
hey, so long as
Ben gets the royalties
out of that one, it's all right. No worries. Hey, listen, don't forget, tell your followers, listeners, and all that kind of stuff that the show and the link that I sent you earlier.
And we'll get your link up on our website and also
our Facebook page, as well as my Facebook page for True Blue.
Yes.
As well as our personal Facebook pages.
Yep.
Everyone knows yours on my personal one.
We'll see if we can tie the YouTube channels together as well.
That'd be awesome.
One way or the other, we'll see if we can find out if there's a way we can get a link of your YouTube channel onto ours, sort of thing, so people can,
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Tie the whole lot together.
Now, if you guys are on YouTube, I can actually listen to your shows while I'm out in the shop, right?
Oh, look, all you do is you go to retrorocklive.com, and seeing you got the computer there, you can do this.
Yeah.
retrorocklive.com, and just click on demand, the button on demand, and that on demand will give you 3 weeks worth of our shows.
Program. And you just hit play, and you'll get a little station sweeper, and then you might get a little bit of the program before us, and then it'll go into us.
Yeah.
And then you can put up with this hilarity again for countless hours.
Countless hours, minutes, seconds.
However long you can last before you throw up.
You guys should consider coming stateside and doing your show, because it would be a hit over here.
You reckon?
Oh no.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding?
Oh, look, mate. Well,
in South Carolina.
I would go a little northern. I would go a little further north than South Carolina if you really want to go big. But,
North America.
No, that's
Michigan, North Vermont, New York, that kind of place. That's where you guys would be just monster.
I've been to New York, and I'm so glad to say I've been there. Bought the T-shirt. I don't have to go back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did a gallery show there one time, and I promised I would never ever do that again, ever. real quick. I
Yeah.
was standing around some of my pieces, and I built this one called King Arthur, this giant hutch that kind of looked like a crown, sort of. And I'm standing by it, and this couple comes by, and they knew, they were featuring me, and I dress like I dress. Period. I don't care where I'm going.
Same as me. And
Yeah.
Same as us.
Yep.
They treated me like I was an alien from outer space. Like, oh my God, I mean, they were just crazy over this whole, mountain man issue thing. And I'm sort of thinking, mountain man, am I got a beard down to my belly button here? Or what?
I've only got one head. Come on.
I'll never ever do a show in Manhattan again, ever, as long as I live. Love it there. Glad I've been there. We'll never do it again.
Well,
period.
you know what your answer is too. If they call you a mountain man, you say, "Yes, I'm a mountain man. I love mountain women." And if you want to use that, you can.
You can. We'll
put that on a T-shirt.
I like the boy.
from the guys of Retro Rock Live.
Yeah.
I'm a mountain man because I love mountain women.
Yes.
Bloody brilliant, mate.
Brilliant. T-shirts. I'm telling you guys, that's a T-shirt right there.
Well, look, if you think we'd be a big hit down there, make sure you tell everybody about us. It'd be fantastic, And,
absolutely, definitely.
And what you're talking about in the way you dress, like I dress. I dress down, and I like wearing tracksuit pants and a bloody T-shirt. You know what I mean? And that's just me.
And his only dress-up style is the same thing, but with a bow tie.
That's right. And mind you, I look like Doctor Who. No. Anyway, I walked into a BMW dealership many years ago, and I was not even looked at. Wasn't looked at all, And then I walked into the BMW dealership with a suit on, and they come flooding up to me, and they're going, "Oh, what would you like? What would you like? What would you like?" "Oh, I can't buy that car." They, "Why not?" I only earn $45,000 a year, and they all pissed off.
It probably
You know
doesn't
what I
help.
mean?
It probably doesn't help walking into the dealership, all right, in a T-shirt that says Merck's Rule.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
Actually,
I didn't have Merck rule. I had Lotus rules.
Charming. Hey, Izzy, this has been absolutely fantastic having this chat to you. We might investigate that possibility of seeing what we can find somewhere in Michigan or whatever sort of thing. I don't like our chances because I don't think anybody over there will sponsor us to come over, and I'm quite happy living over here.
Look, I don't mind. We don't need to be